Hi, Emma.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, I made you the co-host.
Oh, great. Thank you.
And so,
We still have a few minutes, I think, 6 minutes.
so, so I updated the docs to include all the recordings of myself. So,
Yeah, it looks great.
so I broke down the workshop that we did and 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 included bits of the recordings into the Google Docs. So in case my connection goes bad, or if the storm is too hard, or if we need to focus on troubleshooting, and then the contents are still going on.
Okay. Great.
Do you know how many people we are expecting?
I'm not sure. It's been disseminated pretty widely. I didn't put a registration link on it because it was a little short notice. So I'm not quite sure, actually. So I suppose we'll start. I'll do just a brief introduction about the GFD. Oh. Are you hearing the thunderstorm over there?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, right.
if this continues, I may not be able to.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. I like your turtleneck. Very spiffy.
I guess if I record myself, I may as well wear my favorite one.
Very true. Very true. It's still not 3. Maybe we'll wait. I think at least until 3:05.
Oh, Emma, by the way, have you installed the?
Yes, I do have OBS. So I'll follow along as well.
Yeah, in case anyone needs like a one-on-one support, maybe we do it in a breakout room. So I break you.
Okay, sure. You can assign me as in the breakout room. But I'm assuming it'll be similar to what we did with Professor Pulido Arcas.
So I'll assign Emma into one room, but you don't have to join yet. And then anyone who would need that room can go in.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm in the breakout room, John?
You can be in either places.
Okay.
But let's stay here. Unless please don't go anywhere. So
don't worry. I'll stay put.
Yeah. Unless you need assistance, then you don't have to join that breakout room.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, Professor Pulido. Okay. So before you start, when you start, please let people know that I would like the information in the Google Doc, and
Sure.
just make sure that people know where the Google Doc is, and then
I'll
you can.
post a link in the chat, maybe.
Yeah, I'll throw the link in again, but then people who join later won't be able to. People who
Right.
join later won't be able to see the chat.
Right. Okay. So then I'll remind people when we start. Let me just pull that up. Okay, I'm gonna, oh, you've already put it in the chat. Wonderful. So we'll wait maybe 2 more minutes to give everyone a chance to join. But if you haven't already, please open up the Google Doc that's in the chat. We'll be using that to follow along with the workshop.
While we're waiting, Tron, can I ask you a question?
Sure. Yes.
So I had it after the meeting the other day. I had a little go, and I tried on a Windows machine, and everything was very smooth. But I had all sorts of trouble on my Mac. The biggest problem I had is that, yeah, literally none of my audio sources would work. So I know there are things about this. I had a little look, but I haven't messed around with it too much. But I had, yeah, I mean, I could see them. They just, I could connect them, my microphone or different audio devices I have on my Mac, but none of them actually produced any sound. The meters never moved. I could never get any response out of any of them. So that was a bit strange.
Okay, you mean you have an external mic and you connected it to your Mac?
So I'm actually, my Mac here is actually, used as a music studio PC. So I have a pretty fancy audio interface with like 8 channels on it, and I have a condenser mic here that I'm using. So maybe if I switch the background off, you can see. Hang on, maybe you can see.
Nice.
So I'm on my condenser here,
Yeah.
which works perfectly, and it works on everything, but doesn't work with OBS at all. None of my audio devices did. The webcam, my normal, it doesn't recognize anything. Yeah. So.
Okay. First, I would check the security privacy setting. So,
Okay.
So that's allowed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check that.
I wrote it down here.
I read that there's some problem with Mac with audio, that you have to download some special driver or something.
That is to capture the output from the Mac.
Yeah, so that's, I shouldn't need to do that.
Yeah, so you shouldn't need to do that.
Yeah, I also use Soundflower as well, so I didn't have any luck with anything. The other point that I wanted to know about was that this, I don't think, I watched the video online, but I don't use PowerPoint, I use Keynote.
Yeah.
And there are some problems using this with Keynote, right?
Mm.
The problem is when you run a slideshow in Keynote to get your animations and everything, it takes over your whole video subsystem. So you can't have any other windows open and you can't do anything else. So you can't operate the software.
Interesting. Give me a second to
So one of the workarounds, I watched a video on YouTube. One of the workarounds is to export your Keynote file as HTML and then play it in a browser window and broadcast it that way. I tried it, but it was kind of clunky and not great. So
I haven't used it for a while, but
so I actually had another idea. I'm going to try this later, but because my Windows setup works more smoothly, it's possible to access your Keynote files using Mobile Me or whatever. So actually using the online version of Keynote.
Yeah.
And you can play your PowerPoint, your Keynote presentations that way in a browser window. So that way I can watch them on a PC. And so I'll try that and I'll let you know how I get on with that. But that might be the best workaround, I think. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, just while we were waiting for people.
I didn't consider the Keynote user.
So. Yeah. So it's clearly not quite as smooth as the PowerPoint situation. So.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, just for reference.
Yeah, we'll make a note of that and maybe troubleshoot it.
Yeah, if I said, I made some progress. So if I work it out, I'll send it to you. You can put it in the document.
Yeah, that would be excellent if you figure out a workaround, because we're thinking about creating this into sort of a compendium.
Sure, that would be great.
Possible.
So I'll let you know how I get on, but I think it should work. I mean, obviously, you can turn your Keynote files into PowerPoint files and do it that way, but that kind of is
defeats the point of
it makes Keynote. Mac users very upset. Keynote users get very upset if they have to bastardize their files by putting them into PowerPoint. So. Right, anyway, I'll shut up now.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm sorry, Professor Holka, did you have?
Oh no, I noticed that I have the exact version of the Mac OS as Johnny does, and like I'm still working with the old one, but I didn't have any problems setting the audio, making it work. But I have nothing fancy, so it's just as it comes in the computer. So with that setup, I didn't have any problems. I tried the power. I didn't get as far as trying the Keynote. I also use both. But when I was using, I tried to use the PowerPoint. I was watching the YouTube video that you guys put in the doc, the Google Doc, and I got to that point where you have to minimize the window.
Yeah.
And first I could, and then I couldn't, for the life of me, minimize it. It wouldn't get small, so it got huge, and I could see the close buttons, and that's all in the middle of my screen. At which point, I kind of gave up. But that's I don't know. Probably it was the system froze, the application froze, or something. It wouldn't bring my PowerPoint window, inside the OBS window.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that case, it might be nice for Professor Woodward to help Professor Edina to resolve that step 3. Is that okay?
Do you want to jump to that, or
no? It's fine. Don't worry about it. I mean, I just
in a breakout room, because if you're already there, and probably Professor Woodward is already there as well.
I only tried once, and I'll probably try many more times. I'll ask for help later. I just wanted to point out some of the things that happened to me on this first trial.
It's good also to know that that people are at different steps, because that's quite normal.
Different data points.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Irina, just to respond to you. So I realized actually when I tried this, so actually I updated my Mac afterwards. So I think probably when I tried this, I was on 10.14.3 or 4, I think.
Okay.
I haven't tried it since I've updated. So,
yeah.
I mean, because in the document you mentioned that you'll have to click all sorts of something with security, and it was quite smooth. I didn't have to do quite so much. I just clicked once, yes, and then everything just
Okay. Yeah, maybe it'll work. I
went there. I didn't
try
have
it.
to enable anything.
Yeah. Okay. I guess so. We can start, Edna.
Sure. Okay. I will endeavor to be brief so we can move forward with the workshop. Thanks for coming today, everyone. This is the Global Faculty Development OBS, Open Broadcaster Software Workshop, Part 1. So we're covering an introduction here, and we will add other workshops as needed. We're also creating this research document, which Truan has on his screen. So please feel free to refer to that during the course of this workshop and, of course, in the future. We also have a tech support service where we're doing one-on-one conference calls with professors to go over specific queries. So if you're creating a video or in the process of making one and you'd like specific advice on a particular topic, please feel free to contact us through that form. And there will be a link to that form here, and I will also add it to the chat. But anyhow, without any further ado, I will pass it over to Truan. One more note, perhaps. So how this is sort of meant to work is we'll have Truan sharing the screen at all times, and he'll go through the flow of a typical video recording and video creation process through OBS with you. So if you have an alternate monitor, that's ideal, but you can also minimize the Zoom screen and sort of move through windows as necessary. But anyhow, that's all from me. Truan, if you would take it away.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining today. First thing, I would like to have everyone access this document that I'm sharing on the screen, I think. And we are going to fill in the information so then it helps us to understand the situation better. I think so far, so 3 professors have written their details. Meanwhile, in order to rehearse for today, I recorded myself and put all the videos of how I would do this for the whole day today. And each step, I understand that each different person may have different pace, or you may want me to repeat some steps. So that would be best, I guess, to have these videos that you can individually see at your own time. Now, I would like to know as well if everyone has had the OBS installed, because we won't cover that part. Reaction should be, yeah, any reaction is good. Okay, I do have cognitions. Let's see. Julian. Okay, cool. So different people have different modes of reacting, but okay, that's perfect. So I'll start from the second step. I will now share my own screen. As I can see, most people have had access to that. I'll stop sharing the Google Doc screen and share my own computer screen. Okay, so this is the screen I'm working with now. That has the OBS open on the right, YouTube on the corner, and PowerPoint on another corner. I hope this will be, this is how I imagine an individual professor to be watching today's workshop. So maybe they'll have their own YouTube on one side. For this step, so first I will go with just introducing the interface of OBS. So first we have the scenes. window down here where you store your layouts. Second, then you have the sources. And the third, you have the audio monitor. And then you have some controls over here, but that's okay. That concluded the first step of the first part of our guidance. So that was just to go through the interface. That was very short. So I do see people's cursors, and so I see one cursor stuck at the top. So I'm guessing for the next step, your cursor will be your progress, where you are. So if your cursor is stuck back up there, I might think that you are still stuck at that step. So if you are following, you can move your cursors downward with the Google Doc. Now on to part 2. Part 2 is to create the first scene to record just a talking head. I already have it here, but I will delete it and create it again. So this is going to be the most basic scene that you are going to set up. First, we're going to click the plus button here and add. And I'm going to call it talking head. And in the sources, I'll add a source. First, I'll add an audio input. There should already be an audio input that is called mic. So you can click down to add existing mic and you click on that and okay. It should be here. If anyone is stuck, there might be new pop-up window saying allow some access to microphone on the Mac or other things. Otherwise, if it goes smoothly, we're going to create a next source, add a video capture device that will access to your webcam. I already have webcam 1, so I will create a new one, call it webcam 2. Most laptops have a webcam. In any case, you just choose one and use the highest resolution there. Click OK, raise hand. I'll finish this step and I'll come to your question. I'll fit this to screen. And here is the end of adding a webcam. So I will answer to Professor Pluto. Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so today I'm working on my Windows computer. So I'm creating the new capture from the webcam, but I cannot see the webcam of my Windows computer listed on the available sources. So I was wondering if I need to give kind of a special permission before.
Is it possible that you share screen to us? That might be a good.
So I am using Zoom in the Mac and working with the Windows. So basically, so I don't see when I click on, I created the Zine talking head, okay?
So which means then, you see empty?
Yes, I don't see my camera. When I select the video capture.
Okay, so there you go. I think
can you do it again? So to check that I am choosing the right.
So okay,
source.
In Windows, it will be create a new source and video capture device.
Okay, now I can see it. It wasn't on when I clicked on new video capture device, the camera appeared. Okay, so problem solved. Sorry.
Problem solved, great, because I didn't know how to solve what you described before. Okay, I'm glad it worked.
Hi. I actually still have the same problem that Jesus just had. Let me see if I can share my screen so you can take a look. I think it's the same problem that was just being described, but clearly I'm not. So I've got I tried to put source and then ezo capture device.
Yes.
And then if I click on that, let's say 2, am I supposed to see something here?
I haven't seen your screen yet. So
Is my screen not up?
maybe I look at the wrong thing. But, does anyone see Professor Itachi's?
No, I still just see your screen, Drum.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think it's just Truan's screen for right now.
Oh, okay. Do I? Okay. Well then, well, I can't see I can't see any of my devices.
So I stopped sharing my screen.
Okay, let me
Will
try
you
again. Yep.
Yes, so I see.
Okay,
Professor
perfect.
on screen.
So-
Okay. Yes. So that's
So-
correct. So that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. So you click OK.
Click OK.
Yes. And from the device, you drop
Right.
down and choose.
Okay. Okay, got it. Sorry. Thanks.
Great. Okay, yeah, and then all the permission.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much.
Awesome. I'm glad everything's being fixed so quickly. This is great.
Well,
Can I just show you my audio problem?
Sure.
Let me try saving it. Where is it? Yeah. Can you see that?
Yes.
So you can see there's no response in my audio mixer here at all.
Can you show me not the not the OBS screen, but in your audio, in your system preferences and audio?
Sure, just hang on a moment. Yeah, let me stop sharing that. So hang on a minute. This? Right?
Yeah, sound. Go to your sound. Yes. And input. And line in. Okay. So your line in took over your built-in mic, I think.
No, so I'm using my mic's on my Moto 828 Mark II. You can see my input level is moving with my microphone, right?
Yeah, so that is good. Then we come back to OBS now.
Sure. Okay.
And so that mic AUX is defaulted to your input
Look,
mic.
I'll show you. Yeah, it's here.
It didn't. I mean, the pop-up didn't show because you only shared.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, that's a nuisance, isn't it? Hang on. Let me share the pop-up. Sorry. And where is it? Which is the pop-up? Oh, here we go. Okay.
Okay, and then you have the device and you add it in.
Yeah, and yeah.
And you did not have any response.
As you can see, it doesn't respond at all on here, and I can't, even if I add audio devices as sources, there's no audio from them in the recording. So
okay, then I guess we can work it out in another session.
Okay, well, yeah, okay. I just, if you had any great inspiration, it would be great to have fixed it
not now. I mean,
yeah, it doesn't matter.
I saw it and I'm like, actually.
No. It was if you had, yeah. So let's carry on. I'll just continue with no sound for now. Okay.
Okay, sorry, Julian here. Just one question. Can I share my screen, please? Because I don't see the camera option. Sorry.
Sure.
Okay, so you're seeing my screen? That's okay?
Yes.
So okay, so if I want to add my camera, just have to make plus, right?
Yes.
But in the list, I don't have the camera icon. Sorry.
Périphérique de capture video.
Okay, sorry, in French. Okay, and I create a new one?
Yeah, you just type in the name webcam.
Okay.
Okay, and you choose then from the drop down. So that's the one.
So then, okay, right?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Great. French support. No, I joke. I just look at the icon. I just look at the icon.
Okay, I stop my sharing. Okay, just wait a second. Okay, thank you.
So, does that confirm everyone is up in the same place?
If everyone's at the same stage, we can move forward, but please feel free to voice any queries if you have them right now.
So if my, sorry, I was able to add the video capture device, but I don't, I've seen that when everybody else was doing it, the moment that they were able to do it, their face showed up on the screen, on the OBS screen. Well, that hasn't happened to me.
Oh, okay. So you added it on your FaceTime HD, I assume?
Sorry?
So you add it, and it's called, in the devices, it says FaceTime HD camera?
Yeah, the Mac camera. I'm trying now to do it again, but like when I did it, nothing really happened.
Did you check the permission?
Well, I didn't get any. Wait a second. I'll do it again. So it's video capture device that gets, you know, the message that everyone was getting.
Yep.
Okay. I use the. And then my screen is still very black.
Yeah. Okay. Could you go and check the security setting? So I'm highlighting it here.
Sorry, I am not seeing your screen.
No, just check the Google Doc. Sometimes I
okay.
don't. So I'm highlighting a line in just at the bottom of part 2. Oh yeah, okay, that works too. So you go to privacy.
Sorry, that's me. I'm just sharing mine to show you where to go.
Okay,
so.
Security and privacy. So that's system preferences, right?
Yeah. So if you go to system preferences
security and privacy,
and then camera, and then check OBS is allowed to use it.
OBS isn't even in the lists. Strangely, thank you, but yeah, it doesn't show up on my list.
One thing you can do is you can turn off OBS and turn it on again, and this should reset the questions for the permissions.
I'm going to try that with.
Okay, well, but I turned it on and off at least 3 times.
I see.
And every time I wasn't sure. So because I could put the PowerPoint on the screen, but then I didn't understand where the talking head, the talking head was, because there was no talking head.
I see. Can I see your screen just for a second?
No, you can't, because I'm working on a different device, so I can't share the screen.
I mean,
I will.
That device
okay,
can show the video, perhaps, and then the video can show your screen and your Zoom.
I'm not sure I understand what you said. I'm going to leave this meeting and then join it from my computer where I have the OBS.
2 places, as long as you mute one device. It shouldn't make any mute and close the speaker, and it shouldn't interfere with the second device you are in.
Yeah, if only I could manage so many things at the same time. All right, I'll figure one better way to ask you questions. If anyone else has other questions,
yeah.
I'll be back.
Another thing you can check is I'm sharing my screen again. Okay. Another thing you can check is maybe this is not a place, but another possibility is when you edit it and the eye is closed.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's open and I'm staring at a black screen. And I've removed it and added it several times. show the video capture device. So I tried removing it and then adding it, and then.
And you are saying that in the privacy setting, it's not even listed, right?
No, OBS is not listed.
It's not listed.
Well, okay, I'm gonna reboot the computer just, because
that could. Yeah, I think
maybe it will get listed in there if I do that. Okay, I'll let other people ask questions. Sorry, I'll come back when I figure out, or I try to do one or two other things. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Can I just say briefly, I Googled this question and some are reporting that it's an issue with OS Catalina. I'm not sure.
I don't have Catalina.
Okay. She's not on Catalina. Okay.
Yeah, no, I haven't updated to Catalina because, I don't know, people were saying various things about stability issues. I don't know. I don't understand computers. I was told not to, so I didn't. Now I'm going to reboot. I'm going to reboot and come back.
Okay.
Okay, great. We'll continue looking into it. I'll look through forums while
Thank you.
happening. Sure, no problem.
Okay. Yeah.
Shuren, yeah, if you could.
Usually everyone will meet some sort of unexpected outcome. Okay. Any other questions about that part? Okay, I guess. Yeah. Then again, for the people who could follow through, of course, you can just go ahead and look at the next videos and see what I'm doing there. And it's totally fine to go ahead and try something just in case, like something comes up, and then you can save the questions there. Should we move or should we wait for this?
You don't need to wait for me.
Okay, let's
I think we can move forward, sure.
And then we will revisit this question when we have another track. Because I guess you could do the next part. Right? So this step assumes that you are using PowerPoint. Keynote users, I didn't think about it. So for PowerPoint, usually when people present their PowerPoint, it will take over the whole screen, and that doesn't help for us to record because we cannot really control the screen of the computer unless you have another screen. So what we do is we set up slideshow so that it stays in the window. So on the top bar, you go to slideshow. So it looks like this normally. Slideshow should be the same on Windows. And click on Setup Slideshow. And by default, it's presented by a speaker in full screen. But in this case, we're going to choose Browsed by an individual in a window. And we click OK. This time, when we present, it will stay in the window instead of blowing up to the whole screen.
Sorry, I got a freeze. Can you show it again, please? Sorry, where did you begin? I'm sorry.
Sure. To repeat myself, we will go look for the slideshow button in the menu bar and look for the setup slideshow and click on it. In the first area, show type, we choose the second option, browsed by an individual window. And click OK. Was that clear?
Sorry, you can move on. I'm gonna look for myself. Don't worry about me. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Thank you.
Sure. In any case, the exact steps were done in the doc, like in the YouTube, so you can repeat many times.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So the subtitle. There's an option here also to use subtitles. And first, we can set it up to try to use the language we want. By default, it's English, but Japanese is supported. And you can transcribe it exactly to the same language that is being spoken, or to translate it live to another language. In my experience, the translation doesn't work too well. So I just stick with transcribing, which means to pick up from the source and transcribe exactly what I'm saying. This is not, you can edit this exact subtitle, but you can do another step to correct the subtitle. So I will cover that in another time. So
you can't do multiple ones at once, can you? You can't do multiple subtitles at the same time. Just one.
Not here.
Okay. Thanks.
So if you are up there, we finished with. If you click your slideshow now, and the slideshow is in the window instead of blowing up the whole screen, then we finished step 3, the part 3.
Just to say that I've rebooted the computer, nothing changed. OBS doesn't show in the list of things that, I don't know, are allowed to use my camera. So I must be doing something wrong, or I don't know, the settings of my computer must be weird in a way that's beyond my powers of understanding.
Yeah, so I think we can come back to that at the end, maybe. I'll go with you from the beginning. Maybe during installation something happened, but it's all right. We can just move on, and maybe you can then focus on more of the. Maybe you can shift the focus to like, why are we using OBS, or like what is the new ability, new features that we can do with it. Yeah, it's all right. I think sometimes stuff just happens. So could I quickly see if I should move to the next part, or should I, is there any questions? Okay, I'll move to the next part. Part 4, creating a scene to record the PowerPoint. So you set up the PowerPoint so then it stays in the window. Now we're going to set up a scene to record that window. And this is one of the most trickiest part if you are in Mac Catalina, but luckily I only see Professor Pulido with his Mac computer and Professor Itachi. So, okay, we will deal with problem. So, okay, let's try. Normally, if everything goes well, I will remove this and create it again. We will go to the scenes window, click plus to create a new scene. We call it PowerPoint only. Okay, it's blank now. Again, we add the audio input capture, that is the mic that we have. And this is the important part. We want to add that PowerPoint into OBS as a window. So we're going to choose window capture. I'm going to call it PowerPoint, because I already use a name down here, so I just type PPT. And here is the tricky part. So when you drop down this, you should see Microsoft PowerPoint as a window. And if you don't see it, let me know. If everything goes smoothly, this is what you get. You get a window of that PowerPoint in your empty OBS screen. We will fit it so it looks nice. Okay, I expect questions.
Hi, Trung. I'm afraid I can't see the whatever you said I was supposed to be able to see.
Yeah, so we tried that with Professor Pulido and we solved it. So let me see your screen.
Sure. I'm sharing it now. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so.
So, okay.
So I got, no,
yeah.
that's, oh, no, that's not it.
Right.
What's happening?
So that's correct. This is what I expect you to see. So we click out from that. And we will show Akino Namae window. So yeah.
This one?
And then you drop down that again.
Uh-huh. Oh.
It will show more, but I still don't see. Microsoft PowerPoint, no. If you click on that, they will ask you for permission. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you give that permission.
And this?
Yes. So what you're doing is allowing OBS to access your screen recording, which is
right.
So yes, you allow it. And now you need to restart OBS. So save everything.
Save.
And restart.
Okay, and then?
Open OBS again and it should be there.
Okay.
And for your record, the full recording of not full, edited recording of the one-on-one trial workshop with Professor Guido is kept at the bottom of this Google Doc down here. So if that should address the problems of exactly Professor Itatsu's case or anyone with Mac Catalina, because the step for granting permission is a bit more complicated. Are there any different questions?
I have a question which is slightly unrelated. Do you know if it's you know when you get this red box and you can put things in, do you know if it's possible to crop that box?
Yes, I will cover that in the next part.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thanks.
Yeah.
I just, by doing this, realized something incredibly useful that I never discovered or never knew before. And that is because the audio through Zoom is coming into the computer. So, and it happened on yours, my PowerPoint is sitting there in OBS translating what everyone says. Yeah. Well, making subtitles.
Yeah.
But what this means is if I set up a PowerPoint show to listen in Japanese and translate into English, I can just put PowerPoint on while I'm in a Japanese Zoom meeting and it will translate everything into English for me.
Yes, however, the translation is terrible.
It may not be good, but it's still incredibly useful when you're sitting in a 2-hour Japanese Zoom meeting and your head's beginning to spin. So that's an incredibly useful tool.
That's very true. And
two birds with one stone.
Sorry?
It's two birds with one stone.
Yeah, it's a really, really useful thing. I just saw it there, you know, capturing everything everyone was saying and thought, wow, you could use this when you're in a Zoom meeting to translate. Yeah, that's so cool.
What is probably more useful for you in that case is to have something to capture what is being spoken and transcribe that into a written text that you can, in case you space out, you can.
Yeah, that's very useful as well for meetings. That would be, as you know, also very useful. Yeah.
So I will show you how that is done with Google Doc.
Okay. Don't let me interrupt the flow of what you're doing. I just
okay.
While it had gone quiet, it was just quite an observation. I thought this is going to be very useful.
It's good. So if you see my screen now, do you see my screen? You don't.
No,
do you know
no,
what I've just realized? Oh yeah, no, that's it. Yeah.
No, I think Johnny, go ahead.
Okay, here is my screen. If you let on the mic, it will start listening now. And I'm not sure if it listens well to external voice sources, but it's writing down whatever I'm speaking.
Shall I try it? Does it work? Was that me? Was that me? Was that me?
Yeah,
it's an approximation.
Yeah, so that's something I think is probably more useful. Anyhow.
So what did you do? What did you press on Google Docs to bring up the recording?
Support voice typing, and if you, I'm just lazy. You're just gonna go to help.
Oh, okay.
Look for voice typing.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Choose a language. Yeah. Yeah.
So it also translates?
It won't.
Oh no, it listens in that language. Yeah, sorry.
It just listens, but
okay.
Some idea works anyway.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we digress too much. All right. So we are back to the end of part 4. So if there's no more, no one stuck on chat. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. We have extra help. Okay. Good news. Shall we move on to part 5? Part 5. We want to combine what we could do in the previous part 2 and part 4, which is to combine our talking head and the PowerPoint. I will create a new scene, and I call it head and PowerPoint. I'll add a source. First, I'll add my mic again. Second, I will add now the Microsoft PowerPoint. So it goes to window capture. Under that is existing as a window PowerPoint / I don't know, I created too many, but they should be the same thing. And then I will add my webcam. So that's a video capture device. So add existing webcam. This way I've added the PowerPoint and the webcam into the same layout. First, I need to fit this to screen. So I right click on the PowerPoint and transform to fit to screen. Or I will I'll fit it to just the side. And then I'll fit my face down here so it's smaller. So earlier, Professor Woodward asked about cropping. So cropping is totally possible. Suppose I only want to use a part of this webcam. I can crop it by holding Option. Option is next to Command. On a Mac, on the Windows, that should be Alt. Again, right next, so you have Control, Windows, and Alt. So you hold on to Alt and drag the red box here. That should crop the window. If I do it again on the right side, I will have it cropped up to here. I can also drop the top of the screen or even crop closer to my talking head. Then if I
That's great, it works really well.
Release the Alt, then I will expand the screen back to normal. The reason why I place things this way is after trying different layouts, I found that people tend to follow one line. So if things are aligned in one line, then it's easier for the eye. So I tried putting it down here, it didn't work very well. I tried putting it up here, it didn't really work too well. And here, for example, works okay, but I guess this kind of position is best. So that's just after trial and error. You still have a lot of empty space where you can put extra elements, such as a photo or text. I'll give an example of adding a text. So if I go down to sources and click add, I can see text here. And I can just type anything or add something that I created before. This is too big. I can resize it and bring it to where I need to. Okay, I think that was quite a lot of content. So I wonder if there are people with questions.
Hi, Trung. Can you go back to the cropping again?
Cropping. Okay, on a Mac, when you click on the source, there will be red squares in 8 positions. If you just drag a square, it will resize. But if you drag while holding the Option key, which is here, so you hold that and drag, it will now crop. And then we release the Option key.
It's cropping in a funny way. Let me show you my screen. So this, I'm pressing Option. And if I do that, that's what it's doing?
I think that's
Is that right?
I think that looks more like a, let me check. I think that is like a combination of Shift and Control.
Option was definitely the right one on my Mac. So.
No, I think what happens to...
It was okay for me too.
I think what happens to Itachi Sensei was not what it's supposed to be. Can you try doing it on another window instead of the webcam? So can you try cropping the PowerPoint, for example?
Can I do this?
Yeah, and then drag
with the Option.
this Option. So it works there. Maybe
Yeah.
some specific thing with that, just that webcam window.
Oh, okay.
So you can maybe remove it and add it again. That should
Okay. Okay.
maybe reset the problem.
How did I add this in the first place?
So
Hi. Just add a source.
yes. You can use a new one too.
And then there we go.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sometimes technology doesn't always do exactly the same thing. So all right. Okay, so I guess we will move on to the next part. That is part, oh, another thing I forgot to talk about is, in this case, if you resize your windows, it will change what is happening in OBS. Oh, sorry, I forgot to share my screen. Share screen, desktop one. Okay, so if you resize your other windows, it will reflect in OBS. What that means is it's better to fix the window that you are going to use first and then set up the layout. What do you do to end up with that? Okay. Anyway, I think that's as good as it goes. Here is where I think you can be really creative and lay out your scene in a way that fits for your style of teaching or your kind of materials that you're using. I know some professors use a software to do demonstration, so that's not going to be PowerPoint, but that's going to be a software that could be laid out side by side, or you can even channel Zoom back into this layout. For example, if I add window capture and I add Zoom back into this capture, then oh, okay, that didn't work, but that's the idea. This is where creating composite scenes really allow you to do a lot of things that I think is the most useful aspect of this OBS is the flexibility. You can add many things in here. All right. Shall we move on to recording? Any questions for this part? Okay. So if there's no questions for this part, I'll move on to recording, which is the concluding part of our workshop. Firstly, we need to set up the recording. So in Mac, you go to File and Preferences. I'm not sure where it is in Windows, but it should be a similar place. When you click on it, you get this dialog of settings. Here, you click on output, and under recording, we choose the recording format to be MP4. There will be some warnings, but we can ignore it. What it means is that natively, the software records in MKV, and if for some reason your recording is stopped in the middle, then it won't be retrievable. But realistically, if you don't do anything intensive, such as playing games or running Flash simulation, MP4 is safe enough. As for the file size, and also coming back to the question of how much high resolution should we record, I would say record as high resolution as possible, because you can always downscale it to make it smaller, but it's difficult to make it bigger again for the future. Or yeah. So this is the setting we're going to use. MP4, high quality, medium file size. Okay. Also, for recording the static slideshow, it doesn't require that much storage, so don't worry about that. Okay, before we start recording, we will review which scenes we are going to use. I'm going to use the talking head, the PowerPoint only, and the head and PowerPoint. In fact, I would mix it up so then I have a talking head going to the head and PowerPoint and go to the PowerPoint only back here. At this point, it looks more like when you watch videos or movies, scenes cut from one to the other. This is a it's kind of intuitive for me because I edit videos. I guess professors can use this to make the videos more interesting and more exciting to watch, because you don't have to be stuck in the same layout. You can switch around the layout to make it visually attractive for the students. I will give a demonstration of recording a lecture on presentation. So I will start with just my face. I hit start recording here. And I'll start, say, introducing myself, or talk about something I will be going to be introducing. Then I move to my next scene, which is where I have both the PowerPoint and my face. And I can go from one slide to the next while I'm in the PowerPoint window. For example, if I have a slide with a lot of content, then I want people just to focus on that slide, I will click to PowerPoint only and then have people just focus on the slide, or even a zoomed up version of the slide. And after I finish that, I can come back to the previous scene, or come back to the talking head just to help people focus on what I'm saying. So this is a way you control the audience attention and control what they see. So then it emphasizes what you want to say. I can stop recording now. And after I stop recording, my recordings should be stored in place I can see by show recording. And it should be stored right here. And if I play it back and I like how it looks, then that's done. So I finished.
Sorry, I must have missed something, but how do I get all those scenes under the scenes?
Oh, so every time in each step, we created a new scene. So if we come back to part 2, that's where we created the first scene that was a talking head. Part 4 was to create a scene that's called PowerPoint only. And part 5, what we did just now, was to create a scene where we have both the PowerPoint and a talking head.
So I tried creating one that's with my head and the PowerPoint, and then one that's only with the PowerPoint. But for some reason, in the PowerPoint only, the slide is much smaller. Do I have to adjust the size every time?
So
like
I quickly,
what
yeah,
I
I
don't
quickly
really
talked
understand
about it,
what's
but whenever you change the size of the windows, it will change.
not the size of the windows. I don't change the size of the windows. I created 2 scenes. One is supposed to have my head and the slide, and the other one only the slide. When I move between the 2 scenes, the slides are different sizes.
You can adjust it now. You can adjust the size now as you like.
And will it stay adjusted?
Yeah, it will stay adjusted if you switch between. So if I make this smaller, it will not affect how it looks on the other places.
Like if I change the slides, if I use a different set of slides, will these settings stay the same?
Good point. So if I quit this slideshow, nothing changed here except nothing moves. So suppose you open a new PowerPoint. I am not sure. Let's see. Suppose you open another one. You need to start a slideshow again. And as you can see in this slideshow, it was not set up. So then, so I need to make sure the setup for the slideshow is correct again. And slideshow as a window. And then I will add, so it won't reflect here because I opened a new window. This is a new window now. It won't be understood to be included. So I might need to create a new window capture to have that PowerPoint 2 or 3. Yeah. And then include that again. Was it clear?
It looks like you'll have to do the adjusting all over again though.
Yeah, I do. So yeah, so I do. But if you keep it in the same size as the other one, then you have a bit less work.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I mean, it would be, so can these, I think in the first workshop that you guys mentioned something like templates. So can any of these things, you know, or the size of the slide, the size of my webcam capture, they not be set somewhere somehow so that I don't have to adjust every single time I start a new slideshow?
Yeah, so that works in the situation where you open exactly the same window. But it seems that for PowerPoint, every time you open a file, it opens a new window. So the template would be more of a, so I can potentially export this and have you import it. So maybe we can try next time, but in ideas it works. But I don't think it will work exactly for all of your files. So typically, maybe what you saw here was that when you open a new PowerPoint, you have to tell OBS again which window to capture.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got it. Thank you. I was just wondering because it's a lot of, you know, pinching and expanding and
clicking,
minimizing and cropping. But
yeah.
I suppose once you've done it a few times, it doesn't feel like so much work. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I got one question about the camera. When you know, when you're filming yourself, now I see my camera, I see the file and everything, but I got the mirror effect. You know, that's for example, if I can share my screen, it will be easier to explain. Maybe okay. Just 1 second. Okay. Okay, so okay, so I got this, but normally in the reality, for example, the red stuff is on my right, but it's on my left on the video. Is there an option to change this? Because, for example, if I want to show something in reality, not in screen, how can you do this, please?
Can you share your screen again? I just want to make sure if...
Sorry to be, it's in French.
It's okay, it's okay.
Okay. Okay, you got it.
So, could you open that capture, your webcam one?
Okay, so on the webcam one?
Yeah.
Here? Okay.
Okay, so
sorry.
There doesn't look like any immediate option to mention the mirror, but maybe you can find it out later. But if you
okay
for now,
I will look. Okay, I will.
There's another workaround for it. So for now, you close this one, and when you right click on right click on that, it has the option to flip. So if you do a horizontal flip in transform.
Okay, I'm looking for it, but
under transformer.
Under transformer.
Okay.
And then there's like a flip.
Rotation.
Inverse.
Maybe this. Okay, good. Okay, I got it.
Workaround.
On the transformation. Okay, you can move and you can play also to put your face in. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, because by default my camera is in the right side. Just to make sure. I will. Yeah, so it's on the right side. Okay.
Are there any other questions?
Just a comment for me to come back. I tried the Keynote idea. So I logged into iCloud.com and opened up my Keynote Power presentation from there and ran it. But unfortunately, that takes over the whole screen as well. So then I thought, well, maybe that's just Safari has extra ability. So I tried it in Chrome, and that takes over the screen as well. So there's, unfortunately, because Keynote doesn't have a present in a window mode, it's only got a full screen presentation mode. It doesn't work, I think. So the only workaround is to use the one that I used that I found on the net, which is where you export it as a HTML. And that works, but it's a little bit clunky. Obviously, the other thing is to just export it as PowerPoint and load it up in PowerPoint and just tweak it. So,
does this work with PDF too?
You mean presenting?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I was using either PowerPoint or Keynote, if I wanted to be sure that it's going to work, without things moving around on the slides, I would export them to PDF and then play them.
Yes, it works. Let me demonstrate it now. I'll share screen again. Share desktop now. So I will open a PDF. Let's see. Let's prepare. So if I open this paper and keep it in the place of my PowerPoint, I'll go to Add plus PPT and I replace the I replace this by the PDF. So I open a window capture and I'll look for that preview window with the PDF. Click OK. And that works in a very similar way.
And also, does it work when you put it in full screen view? I think it should work, right? Because right now you also have the thumbnails on the side.
So
I'll try it.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, if you blow it up to full screen, you cannot really control your OBS.
Naruhodo. So it's the same as with the keynote.
So unless you have a second monitor, or if you are totally confident about whatever you show on your screen, then I don't think it's a convenient idea.
It's easy to remove the sidebar though. That's no problem.
Yeah, you can crop it.
Well, yeah, you just hide it and then you can just crop the top off easily. So
because this could be a workaround for the keynote.
Yeah, it'd work. It's just I want the animations. That's the thing.
Yeah. Okay.
It's easy to put it into PowerPoint, but sometimes you don't quite keep them as beautiful as they are. So.
Right. No, I don't use animation. So for me, it's just I just want the text to stay in the same places. So that's why I do the PowerPoint, the PDF. But,
yeah, it's certainly no problem to. I mean, if you're not worried about things looking like absolutely, using Keynote's particularly smooth animations, then I think just export it into PowerPoint and stick it in there is the easiest way. So,
but don't you have a second monitor, Professor?
So yeah, I haven't tried. I don't at the moment. So I could set one up. But yeah, it probably will work with the second monitor. I was thinking that, but I've not tried it.
Yeah.
So I can certainly give that a try.
Yeah, I think that would be.
I just looked on the forums quickly, and that seems to be the recommended workaround: a second monitor.
Yeah, that would certainly do it. I have a second monitor set up in my office, but that kind of defeats the object, right?
I'm using my iPad as a second monitor, and it's worked fine so far.
Oh, I should try that. Yeah, I might do that.
Yeah, if you still have the Mojave, you have to install Duet.
Oh yeah, no, that's right.
Okay, sorry, but it's worked quite all right for me, and I'm really low tech.
Yeah, it's nice. The thing is, on Mojave, I have tried it with the iPad. So on Catalina, the iPad integration is super smooth.
Yeah,
it's lovely. So I actually have a spare SSD, so I may just install Catalina as well on that and just have a play around.
Even with the Duet, it's been fairly
works
okay.
Well,
yeah. It's quite smooth, and they pair immediately.
Oh, that's good. If I could get the Keynote to appear on that screen, it would leave me my main screen for everything else. So that might do it.
That's how I've done it.
Okay.
So I put the Keynote on the iPad, and then I work it from there. You can even start the slideshow from there with your finger and like by touch.
Yeah. So you can also you can use the pen as well on there, can you? The Apple Pencil.
So that I haven't been able to do it quite as smoothly as I thought I would be able to. I don't know why. I'll have to try again.
Okay.
I mean, because I wanted to, to write on the slideshow in real time.
Yeah, I was just thinking
But-
the same thing. I would actually really like a whiteboard to go along with this.
Yeah.
As in one of the scenes, it'd be nice to switch to
Mm.
writing. And if I could just have that on my iPad, that would be so smooth. So yeah, I might have a play with that. I'll let you know if I have any success.
Please do, because I haven't been able to. I mean, sometimes the annotations were visible, sometimes it wouldn't react. I don't know what was going on. Especially when I was sharing the screen, right, with the students.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I'll have to try again because I didn't really have time. But if you figured it out, please let me know.
I might have a go. Yeah. Now thinking about that, it would be good. The other thing I really wanted to do, which I haven't been able to find any way of doing it, is on my main Mac. It's a very old webcam I have, and it's quite low resolution. And I could buy a new one, but what would be great is if you could use the iPad's camera, but I don't think you can.
You can use the iPhone's camera, they say.
You can, but
yes.
Okay.
But I don't know how. I mean, I've read people.
Yeah, I suppose there's
on
probably
the internet.
apps that do it. I was really hoping you could use that. I can't remember what it's called. This new feature of Catalina where you link it up as a screen. I was hoping you'd just be able to do it through that, but I guess you can't.
Also, you can just FaceTime yourself.
Sorry?
You can also just FaceTime yourself.
That's true. Have you tried doing that? Is there much latency in doing that?
I forgot about the latency because what I used it for didn't record.
Yeah, I mean, it should be all right. I might give that a try. That would certainly be easy, wouldn't it? Yeah. So then you can put a FaceTime window in the recording app, right? And then that would you'd need two accounts, I guess, because
no, you can FaceTime your own account.
Can you FaceTime your own account? Really?
Yeah. It's funny, but yeah, you can.
I got a question. Okay. I got two questions. One about what we are doing right now, and one other, if any case you have a solution for me. I'm trying to do the same thing with Google Slide form, but right now, if I'm gonna share you my screen.
Yep.
Right now, I got it like this. So I would like to not have the white stuff around, just to have the full screen slide like we could do with PowerPoint sooner.
I think the easiest way is just crop out whatever is outside. So yeah, you can just crop it. So
crop it. What? Sorry.
In OBS. So if you go back to OBS.
Okay.
And so we showed cropping, right? So you see those red square in the corners of the source that you selected.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you hold on to Alt you're on Windows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you hold on to Alt, and then drag.
On this menu, sorry.
No. Is any Windows?
A keyboard, Truman? Do you say out? I don't see any key called out.
ALT. So that should be.
Oh, ALT. So next to your space bar.
Okay. ALT. Okay.
And then you drag while holding it, drag the red square.
Okay. Thank you.
That would be the simplest.
Okay. And then I can. Okay. Good. Okay. Thank you. And my second question, that's maybe something stupid, but I always have trouble with my slides sometimes. Not always, sometimes. You know, when I got two slides, and sometimes I got a lot of space, and I don't know how to delete it. Someone doesn't know how to do this.
What I would do is, so what I expect is perhaps by mistake some objects were created beyond the.
Okay.
So what I would do, I would just copy what I need from that arrows slide, and then I delete the slide and then I create it again. So can you do that?
Okay, I'm gonna try it later. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
This has been very helpful, but I have to go. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I hope you have another one in the future where. So does OBS help? Can we also edit the videos?
Yeah. So after
like cutting and adding and.
Yeah, of course. So after so maybe you have tried recording one. After recording one, then you can go again and edit it. But OBS is made in a way that there's already a finished product, so you can trim it, but it makes little sense for you to open up the windows and rearrange them, because that's not how. That would take more time than re-recording it. So say if you said something unnecessary in the middle, you can cut that out. That's easy. You can even use any software. I think any software would work.
Okay, well, maybe after I try to record something, I'll come back with more questions.
Irina, if you just want to do very simple ones, actually Max QuickTime built-in one is actually really good for trimming, because it will do it losslessly. So you can actually trim on there, then as long as it's MP4, and then save it, and it won't re-encode it, and it will save it very quickly. So that's how I trim all my videos. Yeah.
I open whatever I've recorded with OBS with QuickTime, and then
just with QuickTime. And if you go to the menu, I think it's the edit menu. There's a trim section, and you just have these yellow sliders you can use to trim the bit out that you want.
Okay, I'll try that too.
It's also useful.
Thank you. Yeah,
I'll try. Help you to trim the ends. You don't trim the middle part.
It's not very good for. Yeah, I think you can cut pieces out now, but it's much better if you just want to trim the ends.
Yeah.
Much simpler.
And I think I think one important idea is you don't try to record a too long video.
No, well, I don't think it's going to be very long, but I'm just worried that I might have bits in the middle, like for example, I don't know, bits in the middle that I don't need or that I would like to cut. I don't know. I haven't tried it, so I don't actually know what kind of things I might want to cut out.
Yeah.
So I'll have to try it first.
Yeah.
But I'll try the QuickTime too.
Yeah. Also, like some students offer the help to edit videos. So if you need to make it more polished, then it's probably easier to just get external help. You can forget about it.
All right. I'll try and play with it, with what you've taught us today first, and then see what the next step would be.
Yeah, I'm quite excited to see what comes back after the Golden Week, where people have a bit more time to try things out.
Definitely no. We'll let you know if there are more workshops. No, but sorry, I interrupted you.
No. Well, I was just thinking that people don't actually have more time during the Golden Week. That's why when people were planning to finish writing papers and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, so, catch up on research work. Yeah.
Yes. But definitely I'll also try a few of these, and I'll get in touch with you guys if I need any help.
Definitely.
It's been very nice to know that there are students helping us, and we're all in this together.
Definitely. Yeah. That's the key phrase.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
So thanks, guys. It's been extremely helpful.
Thank you.
And
definitely glad to help.
So you'll where are you going to make this video available? Do you know yet?
I think we're going to upload it to YouTube. Isn't that right? True.
Mm-hmm. And send everyone the link. I guess.
That's right. Yeah. So if you look at the Google Resources doc that Truan created, he has a channel with all the instructional video clips uploaded. So I imagine it'll be to that same channel, but we'll circulate the information.
But it will be an unlisted video or a public video?
So for the step-by-step, it will be public. For this recording, I'm not sure if I should put it up. But let's
Ah.
see.
I think you could put it up as unlisted and then just share the link,
Okay.
you know, locally.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Great.
Thanks. Yeah, great.
Great.
See
Thank you for
Take care,
coming.
everyone. Okay.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Okay,
Nice.
Emma.
Thanks, Truan. That was great.
I wanna stop recording now. Stop recording. Where is the button?